2 years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We are back. Y'all already know what time it is, man. It's that time, man.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Man, it's that time, man. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, we got a great show lined up. You know, it's another edition of, the 50-50 Show, off-season edition. Man, we're going to get into, the Raiders are getting some media love this offseason. I'm noticing from the PFFs, from the 33rd teams to the ESPNs to the, they're hopping on a bandwagon a little bit early this offseason. Maybe it's a sign of something. Hey, hopefully we might see a more interesting season compared to years past, because last year, obviously, was a disappointment, a tough season to watch. But this season, people are loving the Raiders' moves this offseason. But we'll get into that conversation. Like I said, if you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're going live on both our channels. So if you haven't subscribed, you haven't hit the like button, make sure to go ahead and do so. Before we even move on, man, we got to salute the night crew in the building, man, pulling up, man. And Raider Pete, man, he was in here early. He said, hey, look, man. He says, AJ, shout out to you, man. He says, AJ is the only drafted Mayock guy left besides Crosby. All the rest were failures or skeeted out. A year from now, all but two Ziegler players will be gone. Telesco, now Spytek brought the intelligence. It's looking good so far.
Yeah.
I think.
And technically, AJ was undrafted. He was undrafted.
Yep.
Yeah. That year we drafted Johnny Townsend in like the 5th or 6th round out of Florida. AJ beat him out.
It's something about the Raiders when it comes to like kickers. They just know how to punters. But hey, you know what? Like, hey, Janikowski was good. I mean, I wouldn't draft him in the first round, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But he was a good kicker. Obviously, Shane Leckler, Ray Guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who Ray Guy was? He was inducted into the Hall of Fame, right?
It's Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's the first. First punter.
The first punter, the only and first punter that went into the Hall of Fame. Shane Leckler was. I grew up on Shane Leckler being an All-Pro. I felt like he was the best punter in the NFL. Damn near his whole career, if you think about it, until he left the Raiders. But then you got AJ Cole, who's over there.
Yeah.
Carlson, really good kicker. I wouldn't put him in the same. I felt like he had one season where he was great, but
make it elite, yeah.
But I would say AJ is he's that guy, and he recently got paid, so we'll definitely get into that. You know what did he get paid? Like 15 mil? 15 mil, hey,
something like that.
That's a lot, man. I think that's the highest paid for a kicker. I mean,
he's the highest paid punter in the league. Yeah, highest paid punter in the league. But he earned it.
Yeah, basically, he earned it. Shout out to Donald. He says, "Why haven't we tried improving our linebacker room and overall defense, man?" Man, they gonna get there. I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they're going to get there at some point. But I think they might be, rolling with the youth. And they have a couple of veterans on the cheap just in case. But it's not a good just in case. It's one of those like, damn, like, if we're going to go with somebody, we're going to go with someone that we know. From the Devin Whites, obviously Spytech knows him. Patrick Graham is familiar with Jalen Smith, who was signed I think 2 weeks ago. He tried out for the team during like mini camp. So I don't think that's their plan. I think they're just in there to provide competition and obviously a little bit of a veteran in that room, that linebacker room. But we'll see, man. It's gonna be a long off season. I think, especially if you think about, preseason, players get cut. Raiders can also make a trade. They have plenty of cap space. Technically, there might be some guy. I think there's a guy that you mentioned early in the offseason. I think he's still available. I don't know what's going on with him. Man, it's a linebacker. He's out there, man, in free agency. I gotta, man. Let me see. 20.
He played for.
Oh man, I'm gonna pull it up in just a second, man. But shout out to everybody pulling up, like we said earlier, man. Make sure to clock in, man. Hit the like button. I'm gonna pull up that linebacker. Oh man, hey man, shout out to the Bay Area native in the building, man. Myra G, man, appreciate you coming through. We got Alec in the building. Says the media got to show us some more love with this good offseason. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey. For sure. Yeah. No doubt. Let's get in. Let's hold on one second, man. Let me pull this up, man. I gotta figure this out real quick. But hey, man, shout out to Raider Allegiance in the building, man. Pulling up, man. Appreciate you coming through. If you haven't subscribed, man, make sure to head over to Raider Allegiance YouTube channel and subscribe, man. My guy is Mr. Consistent, man. He's been consistently putting out content.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got everybody pulling up. Huey P in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. Competition, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what Pete Carroll wants to do. He wants to have competition. I mean, it's from his USC days, from his Seahawk days, and now with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Man, we got people pulling up. 11 just says hi. Okay, man. Hi. Yeah, I appreciate you coming through.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, what's going on? Man, truest NFL game and news, man. Appreciate you coming through. This is What Up Nation.
Luke Chewy.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. All right. Are you saying the draft or free agency? He says next year's linebacker group is going to be fire. Okay. Hey, man. Maybe that's the plan. That's what Spytech's job is, to basically play chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
So if he figured out that, next year's class is going to be better, then maybe that's probably why. Hey, Janikowski did that cannon, but man, first round, man, I couldn't do it, man. A kicker in the first round, that was embarrassing. That was one of those like, damn, there's no way. Even it's so funny. Years later, you know how sometimes certain moves you don't understand them then, and then they, as time went on, they were like, oh, they're the trailblazer. They did something before anybody else even thought to do.
Yeah, ain't
But
nobody doing that still.
ain't nobody gonna 2025 ain't no one's gonna pick a kicker in the first round. You know,
it may never happen again.
Never for real, man. But hey man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Let's just get into it, man. So obviously we talked about AJ Cole being the highest paid kicker, 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro kicker, punter. Did you agree? I mean, that's one of those moves that a no-brainer signing, I would think. You sign your punter, especially if you're a defensive-minded head coach like Pete Carroll is. I think he loves the fact that he has arguably the best punter in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of playing defense is having good special teams too.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the deal?
Yeah, man, it was definitely well deserved. AJ Cole's proved he's, like you said, probably the best punter in the league, and he's proven to be a weapon. You know, he's a guy that can flip field position in an instant, right, and pan a team back deep in their own territory and force them to drive the length of the field to score. And like you alluded to, we got a defensive-minded head coach, and then also, our longest tenured, person on staff is Patrick Graham. You got 2 defensive-minded people who have been here for the long haul and has seen the value that AJ Cole provides to this organization. I think it's only right that you reward the guy and you lock him up. And like you were saying before, the Raiders have a history of having good punters going all the way back to Ray Guy, right? The first punter into the Hall of Fame, and then we followed that up more recently with Shane Leckler. Even Marquette King, after we got rid of Shane Leckler, Marquette King, for a time, he was like one of the better punters in the league. I think by average, he probably was top 5. Obviously he's not with the team anymore. That was for the stuff outside of his punting. But just in terms of his ability to punt the ball, he was one of the better ones in the league. And now, obviously, we followed up with AJ Cole, and he's just continued that tradition, man. So Raiders and punters, man, they have some. Look, we can't do nothing else. We can find us a punter. That's for sure. So it's well deserved for AJ Cole. Now I'm just interested in what's that next shoe to drop, right? Because you got 2 guys on 1-year deals who are also valuable members of this organization, and Colton Miller and Jacoby. So, we still got plenty of cap space as well. So kind of wondering where we kind of go after this.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think this, like I said, it's a smart move, man. It's just one of those smart moves. No brainer decisions. It's not like you're paying like him a $50 million contract. Like if you have a great kicker, because there's only like what, outside of AJ Cole, I can't even think of like the great punters in the NFL. I mean, that's not something that I think about. But
J.K. Scott, I remember him. I wanted, because he went to Bama. I remember he was at Bama. That dude had a cannon. I don't know who he plays for though. I think it's the Packers, but I remember he had like a crazy leg coming out of Alabama. So people were like, "Oh man, he could get drafted." Like people were speculating he can be like a 4th round pick. And people were like, "Oh wow, 4th round pick on a punter. That's like crazy." But he has. Other than that, though, I don't know of too many other punters. I remember Last other I remember was Hecker, but I don't think he's in the league anymore.
Yeah.
He was with the Rams forever.
No one thinks about kickers like that outside of like the
punters. Yeah.
Kickers, punters. Like no one really outside of like maybe the top 2 or 3. Like no one's really outside. If unless like the kicker, that's outside of the top 3 is the team that you follow. Like that's how you gonna really like. That's how you probably gonna know. But Donald, man, he brings up something that was interesting that we've seen out there. We haven't heard too much about this, but it's there is a rumor out there saying that Raiders, including the Browns, checked in on Chris Olave to see if he's available. Now, man, if that happens, man, I think that would be a great trade.
Yeah.
But, well, actually, I shouldn't say it's a great trade. It's depending on what they give up. I don't want to give up first round. I'm not giving up first round. Now, second round on a rookie deal, I would do it. I think Chris Olave is good, man. Especially if you just give him if you put him in an offense, and especially with the Raiders' weapons, what we have, like he would fit right in, like perfect. And you've mentioned this in the past. You said that Chip Kelly likes those route runners, and Chris Olave is that. He's that speedy route runner. I mean, what would you think of a move like that if the Raiders were able to make that? Would you give up a second for Chris Olave?
Yeah, it's tough because if it was just like straight Chris Olave giving up a second round pick, yes. But it's two things come with Chris Olave, and that is injury issues, and I think he's had like a concussion problem, and the fact that he's on the cusp of getting paid. So, you're going to have to kind of make a decision on, hey, I think they picked up his 5th-year option already, if I recall correctly. But after that, it's contract time for Chris Olave. So he's going to want some money. So you got to kind of decide, whether or not you want to pay him or how much you're willing to pay him. Or I'm sure before you even make that trade, you're going to have to come to some kind of terms on a contract extension for him, and possibly making him one of the highest paid receivers in the league. And are you willing to do that for a guy who's kind of been oft injured? He would be stylistically, he's a perfect fit. Opposite of Jacoby, he's a speedy receiver. He can run an entire route tree. He stretches the field, gives more room for guys like Genty and Brock and Jacoby and Jack Besh to work underneath. Also buys you a little bit more time, and instead of having to throw out a guy out there like Thornton, or having to rely on a guy like Trey Tucker. But as I said, he comes with all these other caveats as well. So how much you're willing to give up for him? Honestly, I probably wouldn't give up. With this contract, these injury issues, I'm looking like a third for what you're going to have to pay him. Because what it just Pickens just went for like around a third, right?
Yeah. He went for a 3rd round pick, and he got. Did he get paid? Did they give him a contract? No, they didn't give him a contract. They didn't give him a contract.
Did they not give him a contract? Not yet.
Nah, they didn't give him a contract yet. I mean, come on, like that would be crazy if they gave him a contract, especially because the reputation that he's coming in with. True. But we're used to seeing that. Like we're used to seeing like especially a receiver or any player coming in when in a trade and they get a new deal or whatever the case may be. But I think a guy like Pickens, he got traded because we all know what it is with Pittsburgh and wide receivers. When they're done with you, I don't even want to make the deal. Like y'all, not even for free. Not even for free because Pittsburgh.
They keep getting 3rd round picks for these crazy ass receivers, bro. They keep getting 3rd.
Not Von Miller. Man, Matt Judon, Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith. These are guys that like a few years ago.
Yeah. But those are like more like 3-4 linebackers, like 3-4 outside linebackers, edge type guys.
Is CJ Mosley's career over? Is he done?
I mean, over, but I think he got hurt last year, and he's old too, bro. He got to be
you're
like,
white.
he got to be mid.
That's the guy.
Because you're
I think
white. Oh yeah, because you're white.
I
Yeah,
think yeah.
He's still out there too.
He's still out there. Still out there. Man, this dude, I think his career's over just by everybody's last image of him, Devondre Campbell.
Oh yeah, his career's over. His career's over.
Right. Ain't no one's gonna take a risk on that.
But look, he'd be the second best linebacker on our team if we picked him up. So, like possibly the best. He's him and Landon Roberts at that point. So,
man, that was such a bad move by him. Like, damn, like he probably got paid. He probably got paid.
Yeah.
He would have got paid this offseason if he just, you know what I mean? Because especially it was a weak free agency class. Like, man. Yeah. But, you know, he did.
He's kind of older too, though. He's kind of older too.
Devondre Campbell. Let's see how old is he. Oh, you're right. Max, he would have got maybe like what, a 1 year? Like 2 years. 2 years.
Depending on how desperate the team was, yeah. And he's probably hanging desperate. Around. He's like, man, we desperate in the mud. He's probably hanging around, waiting for somebody to, hey, you know what? I stay in shape. Somebody gets hurt. You know, they need a linebacker for a playoff run. I'm your guy. And the way Dre Greenlaw left, the 49ers might have kept him. Dre Greenlaw just bounced. Like, he was already in that spot, playing that role, and did a good job doing it.
Didn't your boy Greenlaw get hurt working out?
He got hurt. He hurt his pec already. But what's crazy is that I want to say in that very game. Oh yeah, the very game, right? The very game where Devondre Campbell, when he bounced, because he had been playing all year for Dre Greenlaw, and then Dre Greenlaw comes back and they put him in the starting lineup over Devondre Campbell, and then in that very game he comes back. Dre Greenlaw gets hurt again. And so that's the reason why oh man, bro, we need you to come in the game. He was like, nah, man, F you, I'm cool. Like, I'm good.
Damn.
So,
damn.
Dre Greenlaw can't stay healthy for that.
They got. I feel like it got to be more to the story than that. You know what I mean? But that's crazy. On face value, though, it's like, damn, that's wild.
It's crazy work.
Yeah. Hey, I've been hearing about this, man. Did you guys hear about Jameson Williams rumors? Okay. What's going on, man? Why would he be available? Why would a Super Bowl contender like the Detroit Lions have him available? Like, if he's available, something catastrophic happened. Like, this dude, you know what I mean? He did something, you know, he did something wild. And if that's the case, then I'm not sure if that would be a fit for the Raiders talent wise.
Facts.
I'll be honest. Like, what's the reason? Why would he be available? Like, people are quick, and I'm guilty of this too. We're quick to be like, hey, we got to get him. You know what I mean? Like in the past, growing up, you know, you always, let's get that player. But what we've learned over time is that there's a reason why certain players are available. Is because they didn't work out for a reason that they might not work out for us too. You know, so Jameson Williams. Did you hear anything about Jameson Williams being available, or is this just one of those speculation situations?
I personally haven't heard anything about it, but I know that's been something that's been kind of swirling around Raiders Twitter and some Raiders fans, and there was speculation that the Raiders inquired about him, and it makes sense from a standpoint of the kind of skill set he has, and he was highly regarded coming out of Alabama. But yeah, I don't see why the Lions would let him go unless they have a guy that can step right in and replace him. And I don't really think they do. And if you can't survive culturally in that locker room with that head coach who has basically who has the culture aspect and the leadership aspect on lock, then it's not a situation. Not like he's coming from a bad environment. It's okay, you know what? You put him in a stable environment, we think he'll thrive. He couldn't if they're having issues with him there for whatever reason. I would be wary of bringing him over here, because if he can't work there, then he probably can't work anywhere.
All right. So I do see something here. It's some it looks like probably a Detroit, sport like it looks like some type of article from the Troy area. Which this is how it's titled. It says Jameson Williams faces trade rumors as Raiders propose deal for Lions star wide receiver. And it doesn't say why the Lions would be open to trading him. They just are saying that they want to capitalize on his high value. So whatever that means. I mean, I don't know why the Lions would do that, especially because, wide receiver is a premium position. It's a guy that, is explosive and can continue to get better. There got to be something off the field, something or in that locker room that, we don't know about. Why would they even trade him? I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
All they say is it's a strategic move by the Lions to capitalize on his high value. And the Raiders, they're saying the Raiders are inquiring. I don't know if this is a great source, but yeah, this is.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions, blah, blah, blah. Man, if we get Jameson Williams, man.
Yeah, you get Jameson Williams or Chris Olave. I mean, both of those guys, they do exactly what we need. They can play that.
To keep it real with you,
receiver and starter.
To be honest with you, Dante who?
Exactly, right?
Trey Tucker who?
Trey gone. If that happens, Trey is up out of here. And, Dante Thornton, hey, bro, you learning on the bench. You learning on the bench.
Yeah, I don't know how good a source this is though. There's no one else reporting it outside of it. They're saying that the Raiders are putting out a compelling move or compelling offer, whatever that means. I mean, like,
what's compelling?
What would you get? All right. You know what? Let's make this a conversation then. What would you give up for a Jameson Williams? They're gonna ask for first.
As for first, they smoking crack.
They're gonna ask for first.
I'm staying in that same range, man. I'm staying in that still the second, third range still. Yeah. Especially because Jameson Williams, he hasn't been as good of a player as Chris Olave has been, except for this past year. I think he had a big year, I want to say. But before that, he wasn't really he's damn near a bust. Near a bust. So I'm in that. I'm probably still third round pick, in that same range.
It's
and he's younger too. He's younger too. I think I want to say he's younger than because I want to say he came into the league pretty young.
But he did have some off the field stuff. Like he got hurt.
He had some gambling issues.
Earlier on, he got hurt, and then he had some issues where wasn't he suspended? Was suspended for gambling?
I think it was gambling.
Oh damn! Oh wow! Oh damn! Gambling
so, exactly in Vegas, bro. That's like
what?
It's like, bro, is this what you really want to
do? The Raiders are gambling if they trade for him. You know what I'm saying? That's if we're being real.
So it's like,
but damn. No, I mean for a third, I'd do it instantly. But I don't think they're gonna be looking for a third round pick to get him. Like, come on, they're gonna want a second or at least a first round pick. And we don't have a quarterback. Well, we do have a quarterback, but let's be honest. We're all like, we're all rooting for Geno Smith, but in the back of our heads, we're like, all right, we need to get we want the Raiders to get that young QB, that franchise. But hey, you never know. Geno Smith might be the guy for the Raiders, but it's just do we want to give out trade away a first round pick this early in the game?
Yeah,
when you don't even know what it looks like with Geno and the offense and stuff like that. Yeah, man, I think this is all like, I don't even. This is not really a great source, to be honest with you. I don't know what they predicted in the past. Shoreline. Man, that'd be wild, man. Chip Kelly offense with Jameson Williams, Jacoby Myers, Jack Besh. Obviously Brock Bowers. who still would be the number one option on offense. But you got you got a legit deep threat. And hey, you know, Chip Kelly has he's coached some deep threats in his career. Right. And we're talking about Deshaun Jackson, obviously with the Eagles, who had his best year of his career under Chip Kelly. But a completely different offense with Chip Kelly. But now it's going to be interesting what type of offense we're going to see from Chip Kelly. This version, it's going to be completely different. It's going to be completely different. But man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let's get to it, man. So we had to address some rumors real quick. Yeah, I just don't believe them. I just don't believe them. I just don't believe him. Like, no one is talking about it. If it ain't coming from Adam Schefter, I think Adam Schefter, would you say Adam Schefter is probably the most legit? Like, he's even the most legit source? Because I seen Ian Rappaport say some stuff, and it, you know, this offseason.
Ian Rappaport got us with the Ben Johnson.
He got me with the Ben Johnson. When he started saying it, I was just like, oh, okay. I guess Ben Johnson, it could be, you know, Raider head coach.
He low key got me too, because I was always, the entire time I was like, I don't believe Ben Johnson. And then Ian Rappaport started saying it. I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
If Rap is saying it, he's hearing it from somebody.
Yeah.
But you know,
to be fair, his exact words, I think his tweet was like, "Oh, Ben Johnson to the Raiders is gaining steam."
Oh, okay, yeah, that's kind of
it. But if you think about how it went down, and literally, the Lions lose on Saturday of that weekend, and on Monday he was announced the Bears coach. So literally, it wasn't even close. He didn't even meet with the Raiders. At least meet with the Raiders, and I'll be like, all right, you know what? It was close. He just decided with the Bears, but it wasn't even close. Like, it
wasn't even close. That's what I was telling people, bro. He took like I won't say a pity meeting, but it's damn near like a pity meeting for like Tom. It's like a Tom Brady. Like I'm gonna do this off the strength of Tom Brady calling. Yeah. And putting in that work to get me on the phone. All right, bro. I'm gonna meet with Tom Brady. Yeah. I'm gonna pick his brain, talk to him, yada yada, and then that's it. Yeah. Like I'm not meeting y'all. I'm not flying out there to meet y'all in person. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. Nah, you're right, man. And one of the only guys out there that was saying that Ben Johnson to the Raiders was Adam Schefter. He was like, it don't even make sense.
Exactly.
And he was right. At the end, he was right. Like he didn't come to the Raiders, so it is what it is. So Adam Schefter, I think, if Adam Schefter starts saying there's some rumors about the Raiders are inquiring on they're inquiring on, you know, some of these wide receivers in certain teams, then I'm gonna believe it. LS says a third is perfect. Third is perfect.
For Olave,
a third. I ain't gonna lie. That'd be highway robbery. The Saints. I don't know. I think Olave is good. I think he's a good player.
But I think if Carr was still there, we could probably do it, because Olave did not mess with Carr at all. He did not mess with Carr at all. So like they did not get along at all. Well, I don't know how Carr felt about him, but I know he hated Derek Carr. Like, it was like,
right. I can see Olave.
Everybody knew it.
but I can see Olave play well with like Geno, like,
oh yeah,
easy, or any other quarterback. If you put him in another offense, like, you know, give him. Olave is a real good player. I think he's just, you know, in a situation with the Saints where they got a whole lot of issues going on, especially on offense and, you know, quarterback, and it's just it's weird, man, with them. But, you know, Carr is gone, so now they gotta figure it out with their quarterback situation. I mean, what are the Saints doing? Are they gonna just complete rebuild? If they're trading away Olave, that's basically a rebuild. They're like, you know what, we're gonna trade away and try to get as much assets as we can.
Yeah,
so maybe that could be true, possibly, but I don't know, man. Simmons is a good player on a rookie deal too. It's like,
it could be a situation they just don't want to pay him. You know, they're like, look, at this point, why are we paying top tier money to a wide receiver when we don't have stuff figured out at at quarterback yet. We got Tyler Shuck, we got Spencer Rattler. We're expecting Tyler Shuck to be the guy. So we drafted him fairly highly. Alvin Kamara's getting older. Like Rashid Shaheed. They got Rashid Shaheed, so they got low key a field stretch type guy, a speed receiver in him. So maybe they're like, look, we let Chris Olave go. We get another different body type or different play style of receiver to put opposite Rashid Shaheed. Taysom Hill is getting long in the tooth as well, so he's gonna probably be a part of there soon. So it's not like and they're like, we already know about their cap issues, so they're probably like, look, we can't keep a lot of these people anyway, so we kind of got to get what we can for them.
Yeah, but then don't you want to properly evaluate the QB position?
Yeah.
So why would you trade away a player that would help you evaluate the quarterback position? And it's not like they're getting paid a whole lot of money and they're taking a whole lot of cap space. Yeah. It's just I can see it on one end, like, oh, okay, you can get something for him, like you can get some value. But on another end, it's like, damn, like how can you judge the quarterbacks if you take away a wide receiver that can actually help the quarterback? So yeah, I don't know about that one. We'll see. If the Raiders do, I like Olave. I like if Olave's available, I can get behind that move. Jameson Williams, I'm just like cautious about that more because the Lions are actually a good team and they're looking to win a Super Bowl. They were like what they were in the NFC Championship game, I think, last couple of years.
Not last year, the year before last.
Year before there was an NFC Championship. This year, there was a huge contender this year. So why would they?
Supposed to go until Jay Daniels came through and
yeah, basically. But it's like, damn, why would they trade away a guy that's still on another guy on a rookie deal, one of the best deep threats, if not the best deep threat in the NFL?
Yeah.
I don't know. That means something's going on behind the scenes, and I don't want the Raiders to take that risk if that's the case. Alex says Ramsey liked the league going to another team. I think, I don't think the Raiders are in on Ramsey.
I don't think so either.
We talked about this before. He's probably going to want to get paid. He wants to go. He wants to win now. I'm not sure if the Raiders are a win now, right now team. We've said it a few times. Like 2026 is probably the season for the Raiders. But we'll see. I mean, what did you say for Ramsey? What? 4th, 5th?
Yeah, like a 4th because of what his contract is and how old he is too. But
he can play. You know what? I'll say this: the value that he brings, he could play corner still.
Yeah,
and you can move into safety. Yeah. And like he could move around. Like if you get a defensive corner, be like, you know what, I can move you around. You could be a chess piece on his defense.
Yeah.
The fact that you can cover and obviously play safety.
Yeah.
Still, but then he's probably gonna want to get paid too. I mean, he's getting paid on his existing deal.
Already. Yeah.
So is he gonna want a new contract? That's like, what is that? What is that gonna look like? That's gonna be crazy. So I don't know about that move, man. But yeah, man. Hey, Severe, man. So, what are some of the guys that you liked from the mini camp that you've been hearing has been balling out?
I mean, obviously the two we've been hearing the most about is Jack Besh and Ashton Jeanty. Now those are our first two picks in the draft, so you would hope those would be the two guys you've heard the most about, and those guys apparently they've been impressing, man. And generally, it's kind of hard so you kind of take it with a grain of salt because especially for Ashton Jeanty, it's really like no contact right now, so. Like his two most valuable skill sets are his vision, obviously, and his contact balance. So you really can't put full display in terms of his contact balance, but his vision and his fluidity through these drills. I guess they've been impressing people. So it's interesting to see when these pads come on or when we get to these joint practices. That's kind of going to be like, hey, you know what? That's just where the rubber meets the road. See if your game is going to translate fully from what you did at Boise to the NFL. But those two guys, those have been the guys that I've been hearing the most about.
Shane Tober says Crosby said Thornton is balling on the rush. All right, well,
that's positive. That's positive.
It's positive, but then is Crosby gonna say anything negative about his teammates? No, I don't think he's.
He just not say. He just not say nothing.
I gotta understand the context. Did his name just come up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was he asked like, hey, did someone ask him like who's impressed so far in since as far as the rookies, and if he talked about Thornton, then I'd be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, he name dropped him and said like, hey, that's the guy that then I'll be like, all right. But if someone asks him like, hey, what do you think of Thornton? And he put him in the spot and he's not going to say anything bad. He's like, oh yeah, he's balling.
Yeah.
He's doing good. Hey, what do you think of Tyree Wilson? He's balling. He's balling.
Nah, he don't never say nothing about it. That's the thing. That's how you know. That's how you know Tyree ain't no good, bro. Max don't never talk about. He goes out of his way to talk about Malcolm Kuntz all the time. All the time goes out of his way to talk about Malcolm Kuntz. Even has good things to say about like Adam Butler. He never says anything about Tyree Wilson, bro.
He ain't on the pod. He ain't never been on the pod. You know what I'm saying? Kuntz been on the pod. Adam Butler been on the pod.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones was scheduled to be on the pod, but he had a he took a hard U-turn and went in a different direction.
Look, bro, that's how you know he not rocking with Tyree, bro. I've never heard him say like, hey, you know what? I think Tyree about to break out. Oh, Tyree's one of the guys to watch on his team. I love the way I've never heard him say anything like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. He always says stuff like, oh, you know what? It's a lot of pressure on the young guy. Stuff like that. Like, stuff. Yeah. He's never like, oh, man, Tyree. Like, he hear him talking about Michael Kuntz, like, Michael Kuntz going to be a great player. I guarantee, I bet anything Michael Kuntz going to be a great player. You never heard him, like, go to bat for Tyree like that.
Yeah. He's been very, like, measured with his, like, words when it comes to Tyree. He's not going to go all in. Because, you want people to take you serious, too. You can't just be a homer. He's not trying to be I could tell, like, he doesn't want to be a complete homer and be like, oh, yeah, this dude's great. But he's also not going to be negative, too, as well. So, I mean, hey, man, we'll see. We'll see, man. I'm still low-key. This is probably the Raider fan of me, and I'm just hella biased. I'm holding out hope just a little bit. Just maybe, maybe, just maybe somehow. It's his third year, Hey, third year, hey, that's a sign of it's possible that you could break out his third year. Trey Tucker's third year coming up as well, incoming. And he's a guy that balled out recently in the mini camp. I think we talked about that before, right? He had like a pretty good catch during the media. Probably the best play that was last week, but might be a sign. Alex says his scholarship days are over. Oh man.
Oh yeah, facts.
We'll see. Yeah. Let's get in the chat real quick. Third rounder. Hey, people are agreeing with you. Third rounder, man. I'm be honest with you. I don't think he's gonna go. I think he at the lowest second round.
For Olave?
For Williams, Jameson Williams.
Yeah. See, I'm not giving that nothing that high for him.
No, I'm not saying the Raiders would do that. I'm just saying overall in the NFL.
Oh, would he go?
Yeah, they can get a second for him. I think some team would take a second.
Depends on the team.
Yeah. Coach in the building says I have no faith in Ben Johnson because he's never done it before. Losses with Ben Johnson will hurt more than with Pete Carroll.
I don't agree with that at all. Actually. I don't agree. Because at least Ben Johnson, if he's losing early, it's like, hey, you know what? He's a young coach. These are growing pains. This is the guy we expect to see with our organization 10 years from now. Like, we don't expect to see Pete Carroll at all. We don't expect to see Pete Carroll standing above ground 10 years from now, right? If he is, like, hey man, power to you. But like that's not something we expect. So if you're losing, if you're already an old ass coach, you were brought here for your prowess in team building and for what you've done in the past and your ability to win, and then you start out losing, like, nah, bro, that's like ain't no excuses for you. Like you're on the downside of your career. It's like it's like the difference between bringing in a rookie quarterback or a veteran quarterback. Like if we brought in, I was like Gino. If we like come out the gate just losing with Gino, everybody's gonna turn on him. But if we came out the gate losing with like a Cam Ward or somebody like that, but you know what, he's a rookie. This is part of the process. So
Yeah.
nah, but these laws. If we start losing with Pete Carroll, it almost doesn't make sense to have brought him in. Like, we gotta be like an averageist team. Like I don't expect to like come out like winning 10, 11 games, but we can't come out like a 5 or 4 win team. Like that'll be travesty.
So if the Raiders go 2-15, I'm not saying they're going to go 2-15, but if the Raiders go 2-15, you're saying Pete Carroll's getting fired,
bro. You gotta get him. And that's the thing. Like we can't.
Oh, 3. That'd be like 4 straight years where we had a different.
That's the thing.
Like,
we can't.
Yeah, man.
That's the corner you paint yourself into with firing coaches consecutive years, because you can't do it again. You literally nobody wanted this job but Pete Carroll. Like that part of the reason he got the job is because everybody else was like, nah, I'm good. Pete Carroll was like, I'll take it. He was like, well damn, all right, well shoot, So when you fire him after 1 year, it's a terrible look, man. It's a terrible look.
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot of options, to be fair, and it is what that's been like probably the most brought up conversation between me and you this offseason is Pete Carroll and why the Raiders hired him, and obviously like he's up there in age and stuff like that, but man, we hoping for the best, man. Hopefully everybody watching, they understand, like, we hoping for the best. It's just we've seen the worst. We've seen a lot of the worst in the bad with the Raiders, so we got to be honest, but yeah, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all supporting the show, man. Hey, it's that time, man. It's that time, man. It's flag on the play. This is where we obviously we get into things that we have an issue with. You know what I mean? With things we have to call a flag.
Personal foul, 69. Offense. He was giving them the business.
So Severe, man, lead the way, man, and give us the first flag on the play today, man. This week.
Yeah, man. I think this dude might have a record for most flags, and he ain't played a down in the NFL yet, which is sad. He may be the Hugh Jackson, Tom Cable Raiders in terms of flag getting. And he ain't touching the NFL field yet. But our guy, number 2 overall, number 2 overall pick in the draft. Number 2 overall pick in the draft, Travis Hunter. He recently, it was a big few months for him, right? I think he got his number retired at Colorado. Then he got drafted to the NFL. Then he graduated, got his degree at Colorado. And then he got married. He got married, to his girl. And the most important part of that is that there was no prenuptial agreement involved in this marriage, involved in these nuptials. So this man is going. He ain't even signed his. I don't know if he signed his NFL contract yet. To be honest with you. And this guy is going in nose wide open, no prenuptial, no security, no nothing. Just going in blind, man. I think that could be disastrous. And we hear about you hear about players like how a lot of NFL players, I think by like 4 or 5 years after their career's done, most NFL players end up broke. and usually that they're making like it's because they've made like bad investments. This could be the worst investment in the history of NFL players.
Well, hey, just to give a little bit of context, though, if you've been hiding under a rock and you're not aware of, Travis Hunter and his fiance, for a minute, like their whole situation went viral, where obviously people can, she actually came out and said it on her social media that like, oh yeah, Travis Hunter is not a guy that yada yada is a guy that I liked, and then I found out who he was, and then I grew to like him. Basically, we all kind of figured out like, oh, okay, it's a man. I don't even want to get into it. At the end of the day, it's none of our business. They're getting married and all that type of stuff, but it's just so obvious. It's just so obvious.
You feel money in it? He like, okay, like that was Travis Hunter. Like, okay.
Yeah, man. It's like a train. It's like a slow moving train accident. Like you like move, just go, just step out the way. Like, but at the end of the day, some people gotta learn the hard way. You know what I mean? In life, some people gotta really fall flat on their face and learn the hard way. So flag on a play on Travis. We're not hoping that it doesn't work out, but it's just. Yeah. It's just, man, it's just the sign. It's just so obvious. Sometimes it's so obvious from the outside looking in. It's easier.
Like, know what this is like? Like, it's like you ever watch a scary movie, and it'd be a group of white people, and they hear like a strange noise somewhere, like, I'm about to go investigate that. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't go investigate it.
Yeah, just go.
We all know. We can
dark,
see it.
Yeah, go into the dark cave where you see some glowing eyes like staring at you.
Exactly.
Like,
we all see it. We all see it. Like, no, bro, don't go investigate that. He's like, oh man, I gotta. No, hey, I haven't heard Ricky in a while. Like, look, that could be Ricky. Like, nah, bro, that's not Ricky. That's not Ricky at all. I'm telling you that right now.
Hey man, shout out to my guy, man. My guy Raider Smoke in the building, man, with the super chat. He says, my guy's late, but tuning in after a long ass day of working. Flag, flagrant, foul, red card on Wanda. He called him Wanda. Damn, man.
That's crazy.
AKA Travis Hunter, he got his cape on tight. Yeah, man. I agree, man. He's just young, man. He's just young and just... he feels like he feel like he's right. He's making the right move. At the end of the day, like he had a big journey coming from where he came from, and obviously, he's making it into NFL. But I don't know, man. It just seems weird, man. Like I want to blame the people around him, but at the same time, we all know certain people that they're not gonna listen to nobody. I mean, you probably could argue. You probably could, if you're being honest, maybe been guilty. We all been kind of guilty in our lives, like we didn't listen, we had to learn the hard way. But this one is tough, bro. If we, if we're right about this,
yeah, man. Like I said, I hope it works out for dude, man. Because I'd hate for it. Because he seems like such like a genuine person. Those are always
like he seemed like a good dude. It's just
those are the people that get taken advantage of, though, bro. like the world's It's not like, hey, they don't care who you are or what you've done, nothing like that. Like, they'll take advantage of that.
Oh, yeah. You have to be defensive. You have to think like what's the worst that can happen, you know what I mean? And then like plan accordingly. Like, oh, okay. Protect yourself, basically. But it is what it is. Flag on the play on Travis. Let's go to the next flag on the play. Let's go. Let me pull this up real quick.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, that there's been, if anybody heard the news over, I think it was about a week ago. A lot of people's favorite Raider of all time. Some people might say he's the best Raider of all time. Charles Woodson. He ended up, making a purchase, and is now part owner of the Cleveland Browns. And now he's from Ohio, and he might have grown up a Browns fan, unfortunately. But and anytime you can buy a stake in an NFL team, that's kind of hard to pass up. But just the fact that he's synonymous with the Raiders organization. I think when people see Charles Woodson, they see the Raiders, and the fact that he didn't buy a stake, or I don't even know if he had even attempted to buy a stake in the Raiders organization, because we all know how Mark Davis rolls, right? Mark Davis is a guy that he's all about his players. He's all about the players, all about the alumni, taking care of his people. And if you've been loyal to Mark, he's gonna be loyal to you. And the fact that Charles Woodson didn't buy into the Raiders, or if it's a situation where Mark Davis didn't allow him to buy into the Raiders, either way, man, the fact that Charles Woodson is now a Cleveland Brown and likely has to sever any kind of professional ties he has with the Raiders. It's flag on the play, man. Flag on the play.
Yeah, at first, I was like, you know what? Hey, at the end of the day, like, can you really knock anybody for wanting to own anything? I mean, he's just trying to own a team. So, I mean, I wouldn't knock. But now when you look at it from that perspective, like, man, what happens if Mark went a different direction? Maybe what happened, like maybe Charles Woodson was trying to possibly buy a portion of the Raiders. I mean, it's not like he's buying. What was the percentage? It wasn't like huge. They announced him as it was like a limited partner, but Richard Seymour was able to get a certain portion of ownership with the Raiders. Why Charles Woodson couldn't get the same deal? We'll never know. I mean, that's one of those like situations we'll never know. But flag on the play on his situation. This is more of like, me and you just being a Raider fan and just like, why is Charles Woodson owning the Browns? The Browns. But hey, to be fair, the Patriots fans are probably saying the same thing about Tom Brady.
True. Very, very true. Very true. But I don't know if Bob Kraft was willing to sell part of the team. We've seen like Mark Davis, like he's like, right, you want part of the team? I'm gonna sell. Like, I don't know if Robert Kraft is doing the same thing with the Patriots. And Robert Kraft is not really, he ain't hurting for no money or nothing like that. So he's independently wealthy outside of the NFL. So the NFL is just like that's another part of his empire. But Mark Davis, his money is coming from the Raiders, but almost exclusively. So the fact that he can still, hey, let me get a little cash and sell part of the team to, one of the most revered Raiders of all time. Even if he doesn't have much of a say, right? Like, even if you have a 10th percentage, like, you ain't like, you don't have a whole bunch of like, sway or a whole bunch of, you can't like, you ain't walking around like with your chest all puffed out telling people what to do. You just remain an integral part of the organization. And then after hearing like, he'd have to kind of rebrand his liquor company, Woodson Whiskey, and all that stuff, and then have to change his broadcast relationships because of potential conflicts of interest. And those potential conflicts of interest are the same reasons why he can't even really be part of or involved with anything going on with the Raiders, because hey, now you're part of another organization. Like, like literally you're invested in this organization. So that's a major red flag. So it's just that, we lose a valuable member of Raider Nation for 0.1% of the Cleveland Browns, which isn't like the most valuable franchise in the league anyway. So it just sucks. It sucks all the way around.
Steve brings up a point here. He says, I think he wanted to, in the Marshawn podcast, he said he grew up a Browns fan. I think he wanted to rock his childhood team.
Yeah.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, like a lot of players come to the Raiders, they didn't grow up playing. A lot of them didn't grow up, being Raider fans. Like they, so at the end of the day, it is what it is. They're gonna.
I mean, he grew up in Ohio too, and he still went to Michigan. I mean, I don't know if he grew up. I don't know if he grew up in Michigan. So you feel me? So
yeah. I think it was an opportunity that he didn't have with the Raiders, and he had with the Browns. I think that's when it really come down to, and it was just a plus that like obviously like oh yeah, it's a team that he grew up watching, you know, or he grew up in the area he's familiar with, the Browns. You know what I'm saying? So, because I don't know, this might be reaching, but what happens if like he bought ownership of the Lions? You know, and Michigan. Oh, his Michigan ties. People would have been like, oh, he went to school in Michigan. Now he's a, you know, Detroit Lions owner.
I would have felt any organization outside of the Raiders, I would have felt some kind of way about him buying into. You know, it's just, you know.
Yeah, man. Everybody's Charles grew up in Ohio, Cleveland Browns fans, child. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not saying there's not a connection. It's just that like, I just don't think the opportunity presented himself. Because I think he would took advantage of that. I think he would, or at least like take up that offer if there was an opportunity for him to buy the Raiders. Yeah. I don't think it was there, so he went ahead and looked at his other options, and that would be. And what was something that you remember we looked into this earlier? You were saying that he would have to drop literally all of his his businesses when it has to his wine and whiskey business. He would have to drop like all his ties to the company, which is, you know, that's tough because I feel like he put in a lot of work to do that. Yeah. So
you've been doing it for a long time too, man. Especially the wine one. I remember like when he was like late in his career, he was like talking about, hey, you know what? He had the vineyard and he was really trying to establish the wine stuff. So I don't know, man.
Coach, man. Hey, you know what? Coach is always honest, man. He says this really doesn't matter to me.
I ain't mad at
it. Coach, you funny, bro. Man, all right, Shoes, man. Appreciate you coming through. But yeah, man. Hey, let's move along, man. Let's get to the notable quotables. So we play some quotes that we feel like interesting that we can have a conversation about. And before I play the first quote, Severe, if you want to give the intro.
Yeah, man. So obviously we were talking about the people or a player who hasn't been on the rush and Tyree Wilson. But there was a player